Hello everyone, and welcome to 5-Minute Fantasy Grounds, where we try to focus on how to do one thing in Fantasy Grounds and talk about it in 5 minutes or less. Today, we're talking about inventory management tips. I had a player ask about how can they manage inventory that they don't want on their character, but they still want to keep. So something like maybe you've stored your sword at your home base and you're not taking it with you while adventuring. And there is some way you can set that up as a character in Fantasy Grounds. So I'm going to open up one of my two characters. I think today I will do Barb McBarian. And straight to the inventory tab, we see that there's a whole lot of stuff on her inventory at first level. What you can do with some of this stuff, let's say that her great axe isn't going along with her on this adventure. Well, right here in this column is where you can say if things are equipped, carried, or left at home. So right now her great axe is equipped, and when it's equipped, that means it's available for her to use on her action tab. Now she can change her great axe to carried. It still applies weight on her character, so it still adds to encumbrance. But when we come to the actions tab, the great axe is no longer available, so it's not available for use as one of her weapons. And then if we switch it over to not carried, that's the empty symbol, we look and we see now that her weight has gone down by 7 pounds. That means that piece of equipment is no longer on her character sheet, so it doesn't add to encumbrance, and it is still gone from one of the options. Now that's all fine and dandy. You've now said that this great axe isn't on your character, but maybe you need to remember where the great axe is, and location comes into play. So you can say maybe the great axe you left at home, and just type in home real quick, and there it goes. That sorts it. This location sorting is also useful for other reasons. So for example, we see a backpack, and a whole lot of these items are probably in that backpack, and you can actually store them in there in Fantasy Grounds. So if I just type in backpack, if you hit B, it's automatically going to try and filter it here, and it's going to go alphabetically. So BA comes before BE for bedroll, so it's going straight to the backpack. And then I just click off, and there it goes. You can even see it indents it, and it's under the backpack. So let's put a whole stuff into her backpack real quick. Let's see, her hunting trap is in her backpack. Her mess kit's probably in the backpack. A lot of stuff is in the backpack. And then as we click away, boom, they're all stacked underneath the backpack. Now what's really neat about that is when you change the status of the parent item, it is going to automatically update down to all the following items. So if I say her backpack is equipped, everything else is equipped. If I say the backpack is no longer on her person, everything else is no longer on her person. So we can say her backpack is in it's in the dungeon somewhere. Whoops, left cap's a little weird. But we can say maybe she set her backpack down and then went off to adventure a little bit. So now we know that the backpack's in the dungeon and all the stuff that was inside of that backpack. And then maybe Barb goes back, finds her backpack again, picks it up, boom, there it all is. So that's a quick way a player can do some inventory management. What about on the Dungeon Master side? You have a lot of players and you're trying to keep track of all their inventory. What are some ways that you can do to help that? Well, the very easiest way is if you come up here, little I with 3 little heads, that's your party sheet. And if you're a Dungeon Master, I strongly recommend you figure out how to use the party sheet. So one of the things you can do is drag your characters over there, and you can see it adds them all in. A lot of stuff going on here, but today we're just talking about inventory. So you can go to the inventory tab, and this circular button is to rebuild party inventory. And if we look, it now lists everything they all have. So we can see Barb McBarian has a mess kit, Fighter has iron pot, and so on. And then this is a quick way where you can come in here and see how much of everything everybody has. You can also see the total gold value that everybody has, and it's pretty slick. And this also makes rewarding treasure in a dungeon a breeze. So I have set up a parcel ahead of time, just generically called treasure, and we can see it contains some mixture of coin and a couple items. And if we drag this treasure up here into parcel items, it all populates in. So here we can see the coins, and here we can see the treasure items. Now, one of the weird things about how this works is it can't divide 37 evenly among 2 people. So when we disperse this out, it's going to leave 1 gold in here, and they'll just get that gold the next time, or silver. They'll get that silver the next time there's an odd amount of silver. It's going to stay in the party sheet. The party will get it eventually, but for now, it's not going to go through. When it comes to the items themselves, you have to assign who they're going to get. So let's say Barb wants the Climber's Kit, Fighter wants the Morning Star, and then they each can get a potion of fire resistance. And to do that, you just put a comma between the name. So now we've set up our treasure parcel, and we just hit this little down arrow to distribute it. And there it goes. Now they all have their coin and they all have their items. So we can come over to Barb and we see she got her Climber's Kit. And we can come to Fighter and we see that he got his, I already forgot what he was supposed to get, but I'm sure he got it. What did he get? Oh, the Morning Star. Yeah, there it is. There's his Morning Star. And then a cool thing is once he gets a weapon, it also automatically populates it down here onto his action tab. So now immediately Fighter can start using that Morning Star to do battle and whatnot. Another interesting thing it can do is, let's say that there's an item up here and everybody says they don't really want it. They just want to sell that item for whatever the coin value is. Well, the Dungeon Master can set how much they can sell it for. So in this case, a Morning Star is listed as 15 gold. We're saying it's worth about half that. So sell that item. Boom, 7 gold. So again, it does some rounding here. And then distribute that coins amongst everybody else. It can't split 7 gold two ways. So 1 gold is left as the remainder. And they'll get it the next time there's an odd amount of treasure. So that's just a couple really quick ways you can help with inventory management in Fantasy Grounds. Streamline your game a little bit. Hopefully that helps you out. Until next time, good luck and happy playing.